Good afternoon. This here is Dawson Odoms coming to you live from A.W. Mumford Stadium. I'm inside my office, broadcasting, just talking about the spring recap here, audio, visual for the audience there to really get an idea of what happened in spring football. There's no better host than Dawson Odoms himself. I'll be coming to you, just talking to you today about the recap of spring football from an offensive standpoint, talking about some of the good, some of the bad, some of the things we need to improve on. And when I come back, the next person you'll hear me talking to will be Makanda Diodon, a tight ends coach, coming to us from out of Florida. We'll get a chance to speak with you, and I'll get a chance to interview him about the tight end position and how they did during spring. Next time we come back, we'll take a little short break, and you'll hear from Dawson Odoms himself, the host of the Dawson Odoms radio show, with tight ends coach Makanda Diodon. Welcome back. This is here Dawson Odoms coming to you from his office. Just a little radio deal here we're trying to put together. Just gives you a chance to have a little interpersonal relationship with the coaching staff. Today I'm here to talk to tight ends coach Makanda Diodon. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you for having me, Coach. Appreciate it.
Well, it's going to be kind of fun here. Just y'all never get a chance to interact like this. But, Coach, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
I'm from Fort Pierce, Florida, born and raised in Fort Pierce, Florida. And, just glad to be here. God is good. He's putting me in a perfect position. And I just want to thank him. Besides you, thank him as well. So, go Jags.
Go Jags. That's a pet peeve of mine right there. You can always move the crowd with a good Go Jags. Well, Coach, let's get right into a little football here. We're going to talk about the tight end position. Tell us some things that your segment improved on during spring football.
Overall, I believe the tight ends improved on being more physical, in the run game. Football is a very violent sport, and blocking might be, in my opinion, the most violent aspect of the sport. So we really stopped position blocking and started to vertically displace the defender that we were blocking. They started to understand what I call a bully mentality when you're blocking.
Coach, elaborate on that bully mentality. Can you tell our audience what that entitles?
Well, if you look at the word bully, if you look at the verb of it, it's someone that's seeking to harm. And that's what I wanted them to do when they're blocking within the context of the game. Physically dominating that defender they're blocking until the whistle's blown, and then come back and do it again the next time you see them. So,
Southern is educating bullies. That's a unique. But, understand what Coach is saying right there. I think being in this profession, you understand the physicality that goes with the tight end position we're talking about in the running game. And that's so important because, in order for running backs to really have holes, the tight end is an extension of the offensive line when you talk about the running game. And we're really trying to improve our physicality at that position. And Coach Mack was what we call him for short, has done a great job this offseason, this spring, getting our guys ready to be able to take on that physicality that's needed in order to improve the running game. And Coach, we thank you for being here. It's been great to see the transition from you coming to the unknown to Southern University and moving our tight ends forward. So we say welcome and thank you as well. What about some of the things, who would you say is one of the most improved players at the tight end position?
The most improved player I have in my segment would have to be Isaiah Hill. He really started to study his playbook, and I told him just to find one thing to improve on each day in practice, no matter what it was, whether it was hat placement, footwork, squaring off his dig route, whatever it was, just focus on that. And he did that and got better. And, Coach, you can attest to this. Late in the spring, Isaiah even started making some explosive plays in the passing game for us. So as you preach to the players, you just tell them just get 1% better every day, and I believe Isaiah did that. Now, he's a lot of years away from being a finished product, but he really has came so far, and I'm excited to see his development transpire this summer and for the foreseeable future. He's a great kid.
Well, you're right, Coach, and I think when you look at practice 1 to practice 15, I think you can see the growth, and that's what our program has always allowed guys to do. I think that's why our walk-on program has been so valuable to us, is because we get guys that are just seeds, and we give them a chance to be watered so they can sprout into something beautiful so the world can see. And Isaiah Hill is one of those guys. He's got a good body. He's got a good size. He's got a great work ethic. And when you put that together with great coaching, you get an opportunity to see the blossom. And the blossom usually take time. You don't go from a seed to a blossom. So a lot of our walk-ons got to go through the transitions, and we have to be patient with them. But they begin to make some plays as they grow up, and it's good to see. And you're right. He was able to get down the seam a couple of times, make some catches, and he's not afraid to go over the middle, and he's improving with his blocking. So I think he's going to be an added dimension that we can have. He's reliable and dependable. He does his work in the classroom. He's always on time, and I can see the after practice work that you were putting in with him. I can see the extra time in the film room. That's why, you don't want to give up on guys too early, because, again, it takes a while before they can blossom. And we're grateful. That's pretty good to see the improvement that Isaiah Hill has made in Jaguar football program. Coach, any surprises that may have come from the tight end position this spring?
Overall, Coach, my biggest surprise, well, individually, for in my segment, would have to be Jeremiah Houston.
Okay.
Coming in, I heard how athletic he was, but to see it is a completely different thing. I mean, Coach, the kid can just flat out run for someone his size. If you try to squat on him and he's running a go route, you might as well tackle him, because he will run past you, at the end of the day. But he's also a very savvy route runner, and he has a good catch radius, and he started to impose his will in the run game. But the best thing about Jeremiah is that he's a quick learner. I'd show him a technique in a run or pass game, an individual that day, and he would not only learn it, but be able to apply it in our team periods that same day. It's just rare to see a kid learn a new technique and be able to apply it the same day like he's been doing it, that same technique all his life. The kid is very special.
6'6", 245 plus, Jeremiah Houston. I tell you, if you want to talk about NFL size, he has it. The ability, the speed, the athletic ability, he has that what you need to play on the next level. And maybe the NFL will be calling Jeremiah Houston one day, because, I think he has that talent. He has that upside. He's done a tremendous job, and you can see the growth from day one to where he is now. And that's a testament to our program, taking freshmen and developing them and allowing them to grow. Jeremiah Houston may be the next one to come out of Southern that we call great. Yes, Coach, I tell you, it is a big surprise when you first see him. We all know about his talent, but when you never seen it, he has that big play capability at the tight end position, and boy, he looks great in the uniform. And when you put that all together with his ability as he continues to get better under your tutelage, the sky's the limit how great Jeremiah Houston can become. Coach, tell us a little bit about your off-season outlook.
Well, Coach, this is going to be a big summer for us, and also a big fall camp for this group as well. We ask a lot of our tight ends, we ask them to contribute in all three phases of the offense, whether that's run game, passing game, or protection. And I believe, with this spring and the 15 practices that we have, we've all made strides as a group in each three phases of the offense. I'm very encouraged on how we developed this spring, and I know we're trending in the right direction. I definitely believe that this year is going to be a good year, for our tight end segment.
Well, Coach, you've done a tremendous job. They continue to get better in a short period of time. And I'm looking forward to you continuing to build a relationship with these young men and getting them to be the kind of players that we need them to be on the field, and also getting them to be the kind of young man that we need them to be off the field. Three things, Coach, that you would say your tight ends must work on this summer in order to get ready for fall camp.
Biggest thing, first and foremost, besides, the cliche, which is also true, conditioning, getting bigger, stronger, faster. I'd imagine the first thing that we have to continue getting better at is our run game footwork. I really do believe, in blocking, you start from the ground up. And if you have the right angle of departure and the right run game, 9 times out of 10 is going to put you in the right position to finish that block, at the end of the day. Second, I think we just have to clean up our route technique, whether that's coming out of our breaks, whether that's a 90-degree break, 45-degree break, 65-degree break, whatever break it is, coming out that a lot much more cleaner. And with as much man coverage that we're going to see, I want to make sure that we're clean at the top of our routes when we're versus man coverage. And that's going to get a lot of teams out of man pretty quickly. Last thing I would say is our hands. You're still a receiver as a tight end, so you can't never catch too many balls throughout the day. So we have a goal of catching 150 to 200 catches a day, and that's actual catches, not just ball thrown, but you have to catch it, 150, 200 times a day. And I think that's going to help us, take the whole group to the next level.
Well, there you go. You heard it from none other than our tight end coach, Makenda Diodon. As you get ready to go into the off season and his tight ends get prepared for this upcoming fall, it's some things that he put in place that they need to work on in order to get better. I do believe that our tight ends coach is doing an outstanding job, and the depth chart shows Jeremiah Houston, Reginald Wilson, and Isaiah Hill are 3 guys coming back, and we also got some incoming guys that we'll add to that group. But the biggest thing that I see as the head football coach here at Southern University is that our tight ends are making the offense great again. And I think it's a hidden art sometimes in college football and sometimes even in the pro football. But you're not a really good offense unless you have a really good tight end. And we want to thank Coach McKenna Diodon for being on the Dawson Odom show today to talk about the tight end position. Next up will be no other than wide receiver fill-in, Mr. Connor Logan.